Hello there, Cancer, and welcome to your reading with Molly, the Starkid at Starkidignited. This is going to be part 1 of your reading, so part 2 is below on Patreon for 10 USD a month. I hope to have you guys over there if you're interested in your love reading, your career, or your money reading. Definitely join me and, see what happens. This is going to apply for the next 30 days. All readings are timeless. And remember, take what resonates and leave the rest. So if something doesn't resonate, don't feel like you have to make it fit if it's not your situation. And yeah, let's just jump into it, Cancer. Oh, and the reading that gets the most likes for these videos for this month will get a bonus reading for free on YouTube next month. So if you enjoy these messages, give it a like, share a comment, share it with a friend if you think that they could use these messages and help the video get around to more people that need to find it. So let's jump into it, Cancer. Let's see what's been going on for you. We are in an eclipse portal at the time of this reading, so lots of change brewing. And yeah, let's see what comes through. All right, Spirit. So please tap me into Cancer's higher self. What messages would you like to share with Cancer for the next 30 days? What is going on for the Cancerians? Okay. Awesome, Cancer. So you get divine sensuality with making love and erotica. This is all about like connecting back to your sensual side, finding what feels good in your body, really honoring yourself, your feminine energy or the feminine energy, whether you're masculine or feminine, tapping into, things that just feel good, that feel exciting, that make you feel passionate, and that makes it feel like it's a joy to be in your body. We also get the card of telepathy. And this is about nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, and mind reading. So you may be in a really close connection with someone at this time, Cancer. You might be like spending more time with a partner or someone that you're dating, a loved one, and it feels like you just have a telepathic communication with this person. Like you don't even need to say everything, and they kind of just pick up on things with you. This could definitely, obviously, relate to more physical aspects of your relationship. And it could also just be that you're really, through being in a greater connection with your body, through tapping into your sensuality, like maybe you're discovering like different ways that you like to be embraced, different ways that your body likes to be touched, different sensual activities that you can engage with, and that's allowing you to really come into closer connection with your body and thus be able to pick up on subtle energies in other people. You may be feeling like you're able to just read the mind of the loved ones that you're around, or really tap into what's going on. You may be able to sense what's happening with someone before they've even said it, or put words to something that other people find difficult to verbalize. It can also talk about with nonverbal communication, like as much as we want to rely on our telepathy and, our ability to use our psychic centers and our psychic intuition, making sure that we're not jumping to conclusions at the same time, that we are communicating with those around us and giving them an opportunity to let us into their world without, making too many judgments or assumptions, but rather being really curious about what that person is going through. Yeah, and you could really be tapping into self-love at this time, Cancer. So really connected with what feels good in your body, what feels good for you to do, what feels nourishing, and a love ritual for yourself. So let's see what the emotions are for you. Sorry, bear with me. Okay. So how are Cancer feeling at this time, Spirit? What is going on for them? This divine sensual energy. It does feel like it has something to do with love. Okay. So we get Pelican with self-sacrifice. So Cancer, making sure that whatever you are doing, that you're not sacrificing too much of yourself for somebody else. You're not putting yourself last and putting others first. That you're really looking at the sacrifices that you're making and whether or not that they truly align with your values. If it's a sacrifice that you actually want to make. This also talks about like taking in a lot of information, being able to absorb a lot of energy. So you may be feeling like maybe potentially a bit emotionally drained if you are being around a lot of people with high intensity emotions and you're picking up on a lot. Just making sure that you have the space that you need to really like release things that aren't yours to carry, so that you're not overburdening yourself. And yeah, just not pushing yourself too far in any aspect in a way that makes you feel depleted or drained, or that, you know, that there's not a mutual exchange. Like people are taking more than they're giving, for example. Really ensuring that you're putting yourself first and you're looking after your needs before you're helping everybody else. You know, put your oxygen mask on before you put it on for anybody else. But yeah, this is definitely a time to dive into your sensuality, maybe like incorporating again like more massage, or doing things that feel asking like even your partner to do things that feel loving for you, even if they're not necessarily like getting something out of it. There's nothing wrong with like after a hard day saying like, hey, I really need you to cook dinner, and like, or I'd really love a foot massage, or just doing things that are going to make you feel safe in your body and like you're being nurtured by the people around you. It's not just you, because Cancer is such a loving and nurturing energy. But when they're burnt out, or when people are taking too much, that's when they need to go into that shell and really protect themselves. And that's when you can get that crab claw if you're not careful. So it's just important for you to make sure you're looking after yourself at this time, Cancer. Okay, so let's see what Tarot has to say about this. You could even be like with the telepathy and nonverbal communication, you could be working with children, or like just being around kids at this time, like really, or even animals, like working with you know, other beings that don't communicate through words, and really using your motherly energy to assist there. But again, just making sure that you're looking after yourself in the process, Cancer. Don't let yourself go to the wayside in pursuit of just doing things for other people. Make sure that there's a nice balance there for you. So Spirit, what is Cancer's current energy? We get the Lovers, and I was picking up on that. So yeah, it does look like this is about love. This could be about a partner that you're with, a new romance that's come into your life, or just feeling like really vulnerable and excited about what your love life holds for you at this time, Cancer. You might be in a new cycle of love, but Spirit is just reminding you that whoever you are with, or whoever you're interacting with, to make sure again that you're putting yourself first, or that you're making sure that this person is looking after you as much as you're looking after them, that you deserve that. So what is challenging, Cancer? The Star. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's like, it's important to like, you know, make time for romance, make time for partners. Who doesn't love being in love and being in that happy little bubble? But your challenge right now is to make sure that you're not abandoning your own hopes, dreams, and wishes in that process. That feels like there's a renewal of hope, a renewal of faith in life, and like just an outpouring of emotional energy from your spirit guides, from maybe nature, just things that are trying to pour into you and remind you what you like, the ways that you want to bring your like hopes and wishes into reality. But that takes time, and it takes effort on your part. And if we're giving everything to love and we have nothing left over, then eventually, like, while that's amazing at first, it will leave us feeling a bit drained and burnt out, and can even lead to resentment if we're constantly putting someone else first and not ourselves. So your challenge right now is just to remember your hopes and wishes. Make sure that this love situation is allowing time for you to do both, and that they respect your boundaries and respect the time that you need. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Okay, so what is the past energy that led up to this for Cancer? What was going on, Spirit? Cool, yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. So it feels like it might have been a bit chaotic, but there was like a lot of new opportunities coming in, maybe a lot of different potential suitors. There was a lot of interest in you, and there was a lot of like lucky chances, like luck was on your side, good things were coming in. But it can also feel a bit chaotic, you know, when we have all these different offers or all these new opportunities coming in, and it looks like you have made a decision on somebody, or that you're spending more time with someone. But just don't forget, again, like to accept that challenge of how can I bring my wishes and goals into this situation? How can I ensure that I have time for both? And what is the next step for Cancer Spirit? Okay, so we get the Two of Wands. So this is a planning energy, looking ahead to the future, really like using visualization techniques and manifestation to think about your most desired outcome and create that, to call it into being by focusing on the outcome that you desire. Almost having this like feeling of like the world is in your hands, like the world's your oyster, and what do you want to call into being? But then we also get the Four of Cups. So that can be like a disappointed energy, or an energy where like you're so focused on something that you're not noticing what else Spirit is offering you. Oh yeah, okay. And that, I can see how that makes sense with the star. So it's like Spirit is really giving to you at this time. There's a lot of wonderful things coming in for you, but you may be so focused on what's present that you're not realizing there is something else coming in. There's something that's like connected with your heart, your feelings, your emotions, that is being offered to you in the upcoming energy. And so it's important to incorporate that into your plans as well, if that's something that you truly desire. And also potentially just a warning against like not allowing past disappointments to affect the plans that you're making, to try to really understand those feelings, process them and release them, so that as you're making these new plans, you're not carrying that like disappointed energy of the past in with you. You can let it go and really look to the future with a smile. Okay, what are Cancer focused on at this point, Spirit? What are they consciously focused on? We get the Emperor. So you could be dating an Aries and you're very focused on them. This also could just be like a masculine in your life that is someone that's quite powerful. They have like control of their life. They know what they're doing. Or this is you, Cancer, where you're trying to take more action and control of your life. You're trying to be someone that, you know, is your own boss, that you feel that you have the authority in your life to make decisions, and you don't need to ask anyone else about what you're doing, that you can trust yourself to make wise plans and have like a backup plan. If something goes a certain way, you still have, you know, a plan to fall back on, or you just like, you know, you have multiple avenues to express yourself and to kind of like follow, so that you can adapt to any situation confidently and not be shaken from your power. Okay. And it does feel like, again, like you've been taking a lot of control of your life. You've been really like focused on it. You've been very like really serious, like taking yourself seriously, feeling really self-confident, feeling full of self-esteem and power, which is beautiful to see. Okay, and what is in the unconscious? What is affecting the situation they may not be aware of? Okay, we get the Chariot, which is the Cancerian major arcana. So there is like a subconscious energy here, so something that you might not be aware of, where you're needing to really use your self-determination and your willpower to move forward towards something, to get out of a certain situation and move towards your destiny, something that really makes you feel alive and makes you feel fulfilled in your life. And it's all about like harnessing, you know, both sides of your energy, not just the good, but the bad as well. Like, for example, we often like to be, you know, like nice and seen as someone who gets along with everyone and like who is like lovely and generous and warm, but then we tend to put on the back burner, like anger or feelings of unworthiness, these kinds of things. But what this card is all about is really accepting and harnessing all aspects of ourselves. Like, for example, anger is very healthy in a healthy way. We don't hold on to it, but we express ourselves when we need to express ourselves, and we can let it go. And in that way, like, our anger is a boundary. It's not something to be shamed and ignored and put down, but it rather tells us when somebody has crossed our boundary, and it's important to listen to. So that's just an example. But if there are any parts of yourself that you feel maybe in the past were shamed, or you weren't allowed to feel that way, there's a subconscious energy of really accepting all parts of yourself as necessary and as part of your soul journey, and and learning to love those parts of yourself, and using that grit and that power to move you forward along with the lighter aspects. And to really like get to ensure that like the love interest or the partner that you're with at the moment, they can like recognize and love all parts of yourself. They're not going to try to like accept some things and shame the other. That you are a whole person, and you don't have to be just one-sided. We can all be nice, we can all be cruel, we can all be good, we can all be bad. Like, it just depends on what's going on for us and how we're handling it. And to have someone that deeply understands the truth of who you are, and like that understands your sensitivity. Like, Cancer's power is their sensitivity. They're so we get 10 of Cups. So yeah, like, in order for you to be happy and nurturing and loving, it's because you're so sensitive. It's because you can really empathize with other people. But then that same sensitivity can sometimes be what causes people to say, oh, you're too sensitive, like, you're overreacting. And obviously, like, that's something that we can decide for ourselves, whether we're overreacting. But it's important to just embrace all parts of yourself. They can't just take the good without the bad. They need to be able to accept the fullness of who you are, because that's what's going to lead to your ultimate happiness. Feeling like you're safe to be your whole self, Cancer. That you can, be unapologetically you and be completely loved for that. And when we're loved for the truth of who we are, we're so much more empowered, and we are full of energy because our cup is full and we know someone's got our back. And that's the energy that's present here. Okay. And all right, so what is the advice, Spirit, for Cancer? What is the advice taken? Okay, and we get the Hierophant. So yeah, okay, so being really clear on your values, Cancer, being really clear on what's important to you, like what's closest to your soul, what's closest to your heart, what makes life worth living, feeling empowered to be your own guide and to trust your own intuitive insights. You may also be like seeking advice from a spiritual mentor, from somebody like if you go to church, maybe like a pastor or a priest or someone, but relying on your own values, not feeling like you need to change your values for someone else, and in your ability to guide yourself through life, that you don't need somebody to put you down or make you feel inferior, but rather you have the power to guide yourself and to help others through your own wisdom. Can I get a clarifier? What is the Hierophant about? Yeah, exactly. And adding to that with the Knight of Wands, it's like having the confidence to move through life, to go after what you're passionate about, to, feel attractive and confident and charismatic, and not having to, hide that part of yourself for anybody. And to take action on the guidance that you receive and to feel confident in that. Okay, what's outside of Cancer's control? What are the external influences? Page of Wands. Okay, so like the energy that's like kind of happening that you're not really able to change, we get Page of Wands. So this is a time where you're coming into closer connection with your passion, with your ability to take action for yourself, and to really like point your arrow and go after it, to not have to defend what you're doing to somebody else, but rather to know that Again, you can follow your own guidance, you can follow your own passions and desires, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful thing for you to be able to do. You may also have like a young fire sign that is influencing the situation. So maybe like, for example, if you had a fire sign that's an ex, or someone that's just very fiery, that might be influencing, like they might be a past person and the energy is still showing up here. But yeah, it's all about just like feeling like you can begin a passion project and you don't need to be a master at it straight away, that you can learn as you go, and you have the right, just as anybody else does, to follow what feels good to you and what feels exciting and encouraging. Okay, what is that? What are Cancer's hopes and fears? So your hope for this situation is like, you know, being in a stable place with someone, feeling, we get 10 of Pentacles. So feeling like wealthy, successful, well-resourced, hoping that this is going to lead to, you know, a union where you can really build with somebody and you can each be devoted to each other and build a masterpiece, build a legacy together. And your fear is obviously that this may not be a secure relationship. What if they can't build with you? What if they aren't committed? But just remember, like, you can never control somebody else, but what you can control is what you're doing and how much you're investing in yourself and not abandoning yourself just to please someone else. And in that way, no matter what they decide, you've always got your own back and you will have stability regardless. Okay, what is the outcome for Cancer? Okay. And we get the Tower and the Five of Swords. So I think, one, it's really important to think this through, Cancer. If this is like in your current energy, that Emperor, and you're dealing with someone that is quite powerful and controlling, to make sure that you're really thinking through the situation, like being honest with yourself if this person is someone that you truly want to build with, because the Tower can show like a shaky foundation that we've built on, and so then it crashes down. And it's not to harm us, it's to show us that if we continue to build on that, we would, you know, it would eventually come crashing down anyway. And so it's a mercy to like have something happen before we go too far. And with the Five of Swords, it's like releasing yourself from needing to argue with someone. Like if someone's always trying to bring out the worst in you, that is what needs to be released. Oh, and okay, so obviously that definitely is one way of looking at it. So you have to be honest with yourself and really look at the situation with like clear eyes. But what this can also say is there is an end to that situation with this person. If this is someone that is truly loving and supportive of you and feeling like with this person there is an end, a change to having to defend yourself. There's a change to like mental arguments and gymnastics and manipulation, that you're finally able to walk away from those kinds of situations. So let's see. Can we get one more card for the outcome? King of Wands. Okay, so no matter how this is turning out, you are going to become more of like a leader of your own life. Someone that is confident in themselves, that believes in themselves, that fully knows how to take action toward their dreams and goals, and to not let anybody sway them from their destination, from where they truly want to go. And so, yeah, again, that's where you need to like, your situations may be different. There may be some people that are in the situation where you kind of intuitively know maybe this is someone you shouldn't build with. But alternatively, you know, it's an end to arguments. It's an end to like those feelings of always defending yourself or always having to, you know, argue and fight with someone and there's a win, like someone's trying to like beat over you or like trying to win over you, not beat over you. So pay attention to that telepathic energy we were getting at the start. Really pay attention to, you know, does this person truly value your opinion? Do they really like show that they can hold space for your emotions? Are they supporting you in a way that you want to be supported? And if not, ensure that you're making, again with that Emperor card, as we said, like making a backup plan, or even like following your intuition if it's telling you to change course. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, so yes, very interesting. There's a lot of potential here for happiness, as long as you don't abandon yourself and make sure that you're, you know, like prioritizing your dreams, wishes, and goals, and being discerning, Cancer. But I know you can do that. And it's so hard for Cancer, because once you let someone into your heart, you love them so dearly, so like fiercely. Like Cancers will protect someone they love. Like it's like that, like mama bear, like, you know, fighting for their cubs. And so it's important for you as well to protect your heart from anybody who doesn't deserve it. So just be discerning there, and make sure if you are having to sacrifice parts of yourself for this person, to get your power back, and to not allow them to make you doubt yourself or harm yourself or put yourself down. Okay. Spirit, what is the highest advice for Cancer right now? What do they need to hear? What would their higher self tell them? How can you assist them? Okay, so the first card we get is, this is a blessing in disguise. Be patient and have faith that your angels have the situation under control. What will come is far better than you dared to dream. Yeah, if this is something you have to walk away from, just know it's a blessing in disguise. Sometimes our intuition will tell us something that our logical mind doesn't agree with. But remember, our angels and our guides, they can see like every potential and the path ahead for us. And we might be like walking through a beautiful garden right off a cliff, whereas they might try and take us into a scary forest, and we think like, wow, I'm not going to do that. But maybe the forest is only like 100 meters long, and then after that it's like this gorgeous field of abundance. So, you know, allow yourself to really tap into your intuition, to not frighten yourself out of making a hard decision if that's what's being called of you. And then we get, deeper insights are at hand with a pony. So your overall plan is good, but the details need work. Reflect before moving forward. Exactly. And this is what it's saying. Like, there's nothing wrong with what you're trying to build, what you're trying to achieve in your life, but just make sure that it's not at the having to sacrifice your own intuition and guidance, because your heart is trying to tell you something. And especially like pay attention to the subtle energies that you're picking up. Sometimes someone's words don't match their actions, and it's really important for you to just be discerning so that you don't get yourself in a situation that's going to harm you. Like, it's easy when we're in love to just put things aside and be like, it'll work out, like they'll change. But this reading is really telling you to, like, you know, pay attention to, again, as I said, are your emotions safe there? Do they hold space for you? Do they seek to understand you and love you even when you're not able to show up as your like best, most perfect self? And ensuring that you have your dreams and what it's important to you and what you value at the forefront, and making sure that person matches that. Because if their values are completely different, then it can easily turn into something where you're having to sacrifice too much of yourself just to keep something alive. Okay, Cancer, that was a bit of an intense reading. I hope you guys found that it resonated, or you found something helpful in this. Make sure you like the video if you want to get that bonus reading next month. I'm going to jump over to part 2. So we're going to jump into love even more deeply. We're going to do career and money as well, which is interesting because you got the star card. So I hope to see you guys over there. But otherwise, thank you so much for being here with me. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time.